Tonight, Mark Wheeler, Brad Lazarowicz, the linesman, and we're underway in the United Center tonight. Aaron Spurgeon will get back there first for an immediate icing call against the Blackhawks, and a couple of guys on the Wild team unavailable, including the guy who would be where that man is right now. Brodin, who just, as a 19-year-old kid, just had a wonderful rookie season last year. Jonas Brodin, who normally is paired up with Ryan Suter. Spurgeon gets that call tonight with Brodin being out.
It took a puck right in the side of the face.
Toews moves in against Spurgeon. Stop and go move. Good save. Rebound. Another save by Backstrom, who didn't know he had made the stop. What a rush by Toews to start it, and Hossa nearly finished it.
Well, the subtle little move right there, Pat, right before the opportunity. The subtle little stick handle right here, that change of pace. And great save on the backhand, and then you're right. Backstrom becomes a sneaky peeker there, partner. He's looking in behind, making sure that puck is not in the net, but a good follow-up there, too, from Marian Hossa.
So the Blackhawks were not that good the other night in Tampa. The line juggling going on from Quenneville, and the immediate offside here. The Hawks have Saad, Toews, and Hossa together. Now on this second line, Sharp, Kruger, and Kane have been grouped as the second line for the Hawks. Marcus Kruger a chance to be in a top six role. He's been a +3 in his last 3 games, Kruger. He's between Sharp and Kane opening the action tonight. Scandella pressured by Kane, forced it loose to Sharp. Patrick Sharp now bangs it loose on the boards. Kane back to Roosevelt. Kane rink wide to Leddy. His long blast missed the mark. And it goes all the way back the other way.
Maybe Nick Leddy there, Pat, could have taken a little bit of the ice that was open there instead of taking that shot from as far out as he did.
Leddy was poke checked, and now Bickell will have to dump it in. Leighton Stoner gets back. Hawks now able to steal, but a pass out of the reach of Jeremy Morin, who's in the Hawks lineup tonight. A couple of the lineup tweaks for Quenneville. Morin is playing, and also is young, or not so young, but Brad Mills, who the next shift will be on the ice for the first time as a Blackhawk. He's wearing 51. Morin's 11 in on the forecheck on this shift. Now gets back defensively to lift the stick and steal it. Jeremy Morin, who had a pretty good training camp, dumps it in. Stoner goes up the boards, and Niederreiter got it out of there. So Peary is in the middle of Bolig and Mills. Mills chasing for that, then Bolig had his shot blocked. Rolls loose to Roosevelt. Got it off the side of the net. Spurgeon put it up the boards, held in Leddy. Bouncing in front to Bolig, a shot, good save by Backstrom. Rebound kick loose to Peary. And a pass was not in the wheelhouse for Roosevelt.
A good keep in there from Nick Leddy. Kept that play alive, and it went off of Mills, and then all of a sudden it was right on the stick of Brandon Bolig. And another good stop from Nicholas Backstrom.
And now the stick dropped from Stoner. And the result's going to be icing Minnesota.
We talk about that opportunity. Nick Leddy keeps this play alive, Pat, and then he just fires it to the front, and that goes off the glove or the hand of Brad Mills, and there's that hard wrist shot from Brandon Bolig. So quick decision by Nick Leddy. Just throw the puck to the net. You never know. And the lane was there, Pat, and I think that's the real key. You didn't try to force it through somebody. If somebody's in that lane in between you and the goaltender, then you got to move it along the boards. But it was open, and he got it to the net, and the Hawks got an A+ chance. 2 A+ chances so far for the Hawks.
In the first 3 minutes of the game, it's that down low for Toews. Looking to slip it in front, knocked away before reaching Hossa. Hjalmarsson back. Pass missing. Hossa going to be icing Chicago. Oops, sorry, they wave it off, and Stoner has to play it. And now Fontaine going rink wide, out of the reach of Parise. Oh, he and Hjalmarsson almost went head first in the corner, but bounces up quickly, fortunately. Puck loose to the Wild. They couldn't get it to the net. Hawks clear it back the other way. This one will be icing.
Well, fans, don't miss your chance to catch all the exciting Blackhawks action from in between the player benches. Bid on the CME Group seats through the online CME Group seats auction. For more information, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com.
Brodziak wins a draw. Here's a long shot, Spurgeon. Far off Crawford. Rebound, he made a second save. There's a good chance there for Brodziak, who got to the side of the goal.
And he's the guy that won the faceoff.
And the Minnesota Wild, a very good faceoff team as a group, as an entire team. They're at 55%. Only 2 teams in the NHL are better than that. So they're typically quite good at the dot. Danny Heatley pushes it in. Heatley came off the boards, or that was Cook rather, and it bounced away. Here comes Kane. Patrick Kane into the zone on Spurgeon, trying to get to the goal. Slipped it in front, didn't connect though, and Kane looks to start back. And Cook shipped it in and chases in on Keith. Cook's had a good start to the year offensively for the Wild. He's up near their scoring lead. And now a penalty to be called.
It's going to be on
We're going
Michael.
to check on Patrick Sharp to see whether he's been cut.
It might be on Michael Granlund.
Minnesota penalty.
You mentioned Corey Crawford, Pat, a little while ago. A real good stop. Face-off win, shot from the point. Good stop through traffic, and then there's a second chance right there. Brodziak not able to elevate it. Crawford fighting it off.
So the first power play of the game for Chicago. The Hawks have a power play conversion in 3 straight games. They're 3 out of 11 in that stretch. The Wild win another draw and clear it.
The Minnesota penalty is number 64 to Calvin Granlund.
Minnesota's given up 5 power play goals against in their last 5 games.
2 minutes for Hines, thinking 4.
Sharp into the zone. Had it poked away though, and that's going to be an offside play.
It's those entries again, Pat. The entries on the power play. Such an important part. And everything is in rhythm once you enter the zone and you're able to get control of it. If it's not there, you got to shoot it in. Everybody's got to know. It becomes a hard-working type of power play if you shoot the puck in, but if you're going to do it, you got to do it right away.
Duncan Keith was a +3 in Tampa the other night. Now gets the power play underway. Sharp into the zone, going to try to drop to Kane. He was well covered by Cook. Matt Cook seemed to know what was coming there.
Same side of the ice, Pat, the last time. The Hawks went offside on that side, but again, they tried to enter on that side. Puck's got to get in deep.
Taves got checked as he got to the neutral zone. So the first minute of the Hawks power play has got nothing done. Here comes Sharp back in there. He got sandwiched on the boards but held the puck. Then it was turned over and Brodziak got it out. Seabrook heads away. Leddy steps in. Brings it around for Hossa. Dropped it back towards Seabrook. And then Peary getting some power play time, but couldn't reach that loose puck, and the Wild get it out. Peary kicks to the stick. Looks to center. Oh, and it just missed Hossa moving up the middle. And the Wild able to clear it. As Leddy gets control, the remaining power play time expires and both teams are at full strength. Mitchell cleared the zone. Hjalmarsson, the left side for Bickle. He tapped it forward. Nate Prosser got hit hard by Kruger in the corner.
Trying to get that puck below the goal line, Pat. Work that Minnesota defense. I mean, they're banged up, and they really try to play below this area of the ice.
Emerson pursued by Parise, then he turned it over. Pominville couldn't find the handle. It bounced back to the line. Dumba held it in. Stoner's hot pass was off the mark from Parise. Dumba's long shot deflected, then hit a leg out in front. And the Wild able to keep it in. Here's Oduya to Hjalmarsson. And this defense, Perry, the other night had a tough night in the stats category. -3 for Oduya, -2 for Hjalmarsson. And for each of those guys, that was only the second time this year they've had a minus rating in a game. Well, they've had a great run, usually going against the other team's best lines, but things didn't work too well for them the other night. In behind Niederreiter. Put it to the corner, Granlund. Back to Nino Niederreiter. His stuff attempt denied. And again, Niederreiter dropped it back. Here's a keep to Niederreiter. Walks to the middle. Couldn't get rid of an attempt. And the Wild able to keep it in. Granlund to the corner. Here's Heatley going to shoot from there. And Crawford makes the save and covers it up. 11.5 remaining in a scoreless first.
Hawk fans, don't forget to visit the WGN Sports Game Zone, brought to you by Wingstop for every Blackhawks game at WGNTV.com. At last, sweet meets heat at Wingstop with the new Mango Habanero Wing, sweet and so spicy. Wingstop, the wing experts.
Mentioned that the Wild have had a good start. They're 5-3-3 record-wise, but we might suggest that record is a little deceiving only from this standpoint. They have not played really any of the upper echelon teams in the NHL. This first game against the Hawks. They've not seen Colorado. They've not seen St. Louis. They've not seen San Jose. They've not seen Anaheim. They've not seen Pittsburgh. So one of the things they were talking about this matchup and to the back end of a home-and-home series on Monday in Minnie. They're really anxious to see how they stack up against one of the elite teams.
Toughest challenge, Pat, is scoring goals consistently. I mean, generating and finishing opportunities. And they're going to have to try to win a lot of games at the low scores, the 2-1s, the 3-2s.
Oh, Eddie, I mean, they've played 11 games. There's only 3 times they've gotten to a third goal in a game. They did that twice. They scored 5 in one other game. Other than that, it's all been 2 or 1. So it really means you have got to be very solid defensively.
That puts a lot of pressure on your goaltender.
Does it ever? Yes, sir. Jason Pominville gains the line. Put it into the middle. Here's a shot. Good save by Cup. Rebound. Oh, and Pominville had an open side of the net. Couldn't get the puck under control. He's got it again, Pominville. His pass picked off Sharp. Patrick Sharp trying to pass it to himself off the sideboard. Got to it, centered. Out of the reach of Kane. Seabrook for Kane. It was at his feet. And now jammed back to the line. Seabrook, a long wrist shot. And a good look for Backstrom at that. Granlund got it out. Niederreiter, good hit check by Brent Seabrook. There to the line, and Prosser sends it across. Scandella, and it's cleared towards the middle. But lines up in behind. Brodziak tried to center, couldn't get through the traffic. Shaw took it away to Seabrook. Now they work in the corner, and Matt Cook came up with it, slipped it in front. Good stick, though, from Kane. And out comes Sharp. Wants Kane, trying to flip it to open ice. But good coverage there by the Wild. Michael Roosevelt fires a long bank pass to Jeremy Moore and tapping it forward. Dumba took a hit, but got it to Bayou. He lost it. Here's Shaw, a long wrist shot. Back for the rebound. Oh, and Bickle chipped it just wide. Bickle gets it back to Leddy. Back to Bickle. He shoots. That goes off a leg. Now the Wild try to get things settled down. Dumba to Brodziak. Well short of center when he scooped it forward, and icing will be the result. The Wild wanted to change. But now a tired group will have to stay out.
Well, Pat, from our BMO Harris Bank Telestrator, the Blackhawks are going for a change. And I believe that's Jonathan Toews that's going off the ice. All of a sudden, it's a 3-on-2. And look at this chance that they get. Michael Granlund with a real good look, and Corey Crawford with a right pad save. So not a good change by the Hawks in that situation, Pat. I mean, you got to, I don't care how tired you are, you got to stay there, especially in that situation. Quick developing 3-on-2. I mean, that's a high-quality chance. I mean, knowing Jonathan Toews, he must have not realized where that puck maybe was on the ice. But again, you still got to have an idea, because you'd rather have a body there than nobody there, even if you're out of gas.
Shooter checked Peary, but the kid still digs it out. Dropped it to Roosevelt. Again, Peary. Now Mills to the corner. Peary gonna jam it out of there. He's checked. Brandon Bollig. Grabbed on the end boards. Mills takes over. Pretty solid fourth line shift up till then. Finally the Wild get control, getting it out. Kanopka dumped it in. Leddy had to scurry. Parise in hot pursuit. It's cleared to the boards, and Saad goes back to this side. Crosser pinching. But Toews got it out of there. Jonathan Toews, by the way, in that game in Tampa, who was double shifted a fair amount as the game moved along. He was on the ice for 24 minutes. That's a big number for a forward, even with an overtime game. And now a penalty coming up here. Interference is whistled against Hossa, who goes palms up. He can't believe it, but the Hawks will be shorthanded when we come back.
Here's the puck, and keep an eye on Marian Hossa on this play here. Going for the puck, Hossa eliminates Marco Scandella. It was the trailing official, Pat, that made the call. The other referee was standing right in front of the play, and he let it go. The back official made the call. See, his arm is not up.
Yeah.
And Hossa into the box, and Minnesota been pretty good on the power play, Pat. I think there's only 3 teams in the NHL that have scored more power play goals this year than the Minnesota Wild. They've got 10 so far.
So that's unit has done wonders for him. Here's a long shot. The rebound is there, and it's tapped home by Parise. The initial save by Crawford, but Parise right on the doorstep poked it into the back of the net. 1-0. Face-off win.
Dictate puck possession. The face-off win. Good help from Parise, the eventual goal scorer, Pat, as you mentioned. Goes right to the front of the net. Crawford thinks he has it, and it just seeps out. He just finds his way to the ice right there and barely hits the back of the net.
So Zach Parise, who led them in scoring last year, is in that same position in the early going this year. And 6 goals in the first 12 games for Parise, and the Wild are in front. Kruger bounced it loose. The Wild dump it in. Keith back. Goes around Sharp, trying to blow the zone. He's going to pick up the puck, lower his shoulder, get to the net, right in! Oh, Backstrom, a spectacular lunging save! And now the Wild move right back. Brodziak fires a shot that's blocked by Seabrook. Picked up, though, by Kane the other way.
at 12:39.
Oh, a good check on the boards by Bickle. He knocked down Spurgeon. Bickle with a long slap shot that's stopped by Backstrom. Rebound, and Morin trying to make a backhand pass that missed. Granlund the other way. Cleared away to Bickle, then Morin. Trying to pass it to himself, but back is Niederreiter. Able to clear it around the boards, and Ammenville to Niederreiter. He sends it the other way. Nick Leddy kicks to the stick. Put it around the boards for Mills. Now Bolig to Seabrook. And then Bolig cleared it back towards the corner. Wild able to jam it loose, and Torrey Mitchell stopped by Keith at center. Candela pops it deep. Now Seabrook.
Pretty impressed, Pat, with the way Minnesota's really taking away the walls. I mean, they've been really aggressive up the board. So if you're the Hawks, you want to go to school on that. You want to look to look to the middle of the ice. Because if they're taking away the walls, they're taking away the wings, something's got to be open, and that's the middle of the ice. And that should feed into the strength of the Hawks, because they like to play that way.
All right, we have 5 minutes remaining in the opening period. Minnesota, by way of a power play goal, is in front.
Sharp, he's only got 1 goal on the year, but it's not from not having some quality chances here. Clayton Stoner maybe trips on one, and here comes Patrick Sharp. Backhand, forehand, great move, and just not able to get the puck up and over the pad and glove of Nicholas Backstrom. I know what Patrick Sharp's going through, Pat. All goal scorers will tell you. It's not fun when you get the chances and you're not putting the ones in that you know you should and what you're paid to do. And always try to look at it. If the chances aren't there, that's probably a bigger concern.
Then you're worried.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Now in behind is Hossa. Dropped it back. Oduya's long shot is off a leg. Taves for Saad. He shot it from a tough angle off a skate. And Fontaine for the Wild. Sends it back behind. Good keep here by Hjalmarsson. Taves left it. Hossa shot it, and a good save with the left pad by Backstrom. Now Oduya retrieves. Hawks able to keep possession while they execute a line change. Here comes Kane into the zone, trying to beat a check, but that didn't happen, and Brodziak had to jump loose in front. A sharper shot, that's blocked out in front of penalty coming up against the Wild. Well, the Blackhawks will get their second power play opportunity.
Well, what an opportunity. It was off the real good play in the middle of the ice by Patrick Sharp to get the puck to Patrick Kane. And the hook on Kyle Brodziak. Again, Patrick Sharp's the guy that started the play in the middle of the ice and then gets that chance. I don't think that ever got to Backstrom with Suter standing right there. But good play in the middle of the ice created it.
Sharp goes to Kane. Shaw to the front of the net. Taves is down low. He'll get the pass. Walk to the goal. He tried to stop it. Oh, Backstrom said no. Back to Sharp now. Keith takes a look. Bounced it in behind. Clayton Stoner lost control of it. Kane to Sharp with a one-timer. That never got to the net. And now Prosser able to clear it. Into the zone, Shaw to Sharp. He got spun around by Cook. And a penalty coming up as Shaw was going for a change. He got tangled, and I believe with Prosser, they both went down, but it's really, it appeared to me Shaw was the guy who initiated it, and that's what the official thought as well. He's going to be sent off.
65, 2 minutes holding.
There's Andrew Shaw in behind the play. Prosser's bumping him a little bit. Another subtle little bump, and then that quick little wrap. The quick little wrap by Andrew Shaw ended up costing him the penalty. Yeah, not good to take penalties like that when you're on a power play.
4-on-4 here, Matt Dumba. Scandella to Dumba. Now Granlund.
Blackhawk penalty call number 65.
It's a down low. Niederreiter couldn't pick it up. The young kids on the ice here for the Wild in their 4-on-4 setup. Kruger now for Chicago, left it for Leddy. This pass missing side. And now the Wild start back. Niederreiter goes wide on Seabrook, trying to get back to the middle, but back pressure from Saad took it away. 2 minutes to go in the first. Brandon Saad into the zone, left it for Hossa. His shot goes off a stick to Seabrook. Wants Hossa in deep. Hossa trying to slip it in front, picked off Koivu. Now the Minnesota penalty's over. They got a minute of power play time. Spurgeon was checked by Keith right away. Now it's picked up by Keith with time to take a look. Half a minute for the Minnesota man advantage, 75 for the first period. Pominville cleared it in. Koivu dropped it to the boards. Parise put it back. Suter to Spurgeon. Ryan Suter to Jared Spurgeon trying to center. Oh, one-timer just missed from Pominville. That didn't miss by much. Hawks caught a break there. Now taken by Koivu. Back to Suter. Mikko Koivu with a snapshot, blocked Hjalmarsson, and cleared by Mills.
Huge block there. Minnesota had something going, Pat. You made mention. I mean, close call there with the opportunity about 12 feet in front of Corey Crawford, just missing to the stick side.
All the penalties have expired. Both teams are back at full strength. And now it's sent in behind Crawford. And the Hawks move back. Kane into the zone. Seabrook heading for the net. Kane tried to get the puck there, but it's into the glove of Backstrom. He'll hold. Now Sharp in a little bit of a confrontation. There was a little bit of contact as the whistle sounded, and Sharp and Brodziak had a short exchange. As the shot was grabbed, Sharp where he's supposed to be, near the front of the net, and Prosser it actually was, but sort of
gave him a quick little push.
Gave him a little shot.
And when you got one goal to start the season, your wick is very short.
Lots of things are bothersome, aren't they? They're going to call icing, but I think the horn will go to end the period. Let's see what the officials decide here. It looked as if there was time on the clock, and yeah, they're going to have a face-off. They're going to check this, and I'm quite sure there's going to be some time put back on the clock when that icing call was made.
Thought it was about 0.8, Pat, when I saw the puck across the line and Brent Seabrook coming back.
So there will be a draw to the left of Nick Backstrom. And they're moving it to his right now, and they're putting one tick on the clock. But Sharp's a right-handed shot. He's like to have a lefty just try to hammer this one. That's your only chance. And that will finish the opening period. 12 shots for Chicago in the first period. There were 7 for the Wild. And again, we had a little bit of a get-together with Shaw seemingly near the middle of it. But everybody separating, and I guess they remember they played 5 straight games against one another last spring. Hawks won the series 4 games to 1, but the Wild lead this game at the end of 20 minutes. Here's the start of the second period, which is 50 seconds away, is brought to you by Subway Restaurants. And to start it off right, you have a chance to win 5 $5 foot-long subs. Just be the 500th texter to text footlong to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete rules and info. No purchase necessary.
Well, 1 goal, 2 is the inside story. The 2013 Stanley Cup champion Blackhawks. 240-page hardcover book chronicles the Blackhawks' dream season, from the streak to the Stanley Cup to the banner raising. Plus, each book includes Blackhawks DVD championship DVD. 17 seconds. For more information, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com.
All right, ready to go with period 2. And the Hawks win a face-off. The rush jammed up at the blue line, and here's Oduya. And that deflection goes up off the netting and out of play. So Joel Quenneville's team has been talking about a lot here in the first 10 games of the year. Just not quite getting the finish, the production that they're used to offensively. I mean, for the most part, is Crawford just able to handle a shot that deflected toward the goal off a leg. Parise checked by Hossa, but puck stays in the Chicago zone and then eventually winds up out of play. But I'd start to say that, and it seemed like the pace of the scoring chances for the Blackhawks about where you would expect them to be. It's just they haven't been able to finish it, and averaging less than 3 goals per game. That's not what this team typically has been about.
Yeah, I think we talk to the players and read between the lines of Coach Q. It's the chances are there, but I think that there's opportunities for more. And most goaltenders in this league, Pat, you know this. They see it, they're going to stop it. So he wants more people than net, more second chance, third chance opportunities. They feel that they are there. They just have to find a way to get to those pucks.
Scandella's long shot, tip, they score. Scandella let it go for the blue line. A redirect out in front of the net has doubled the Minnesota lead. They score 63 seconds into the period, and it is 2-0.
Well, this puck comes from behind the net, Pat, and Matt Cook throws his puck out in front of the net, but look at Corey Crawford, Pat. He is so deep in his net, I don't think he realizes that that puck comes all the way out to the front of the net. Watch the position of Crawford. Look where he is, Pat. I mean, he's right along the goal line.
Yeah.
I mean, his left skate looks like it's actually in. So I think when Cook was behind the net, he went behind to anticipate maybe a quick play around the net, and then the puck went so quick from below the goal line to the point. And Scandella just shot it to the net. And was that Brodziak?
Yes.
Yeah, Brodziak with the redirect in front of the net.
So an early tally for the Wild here in period 2. Stoner bringing up the board. Niederreiter checked, but he held the puck. Able to bounce it free.
Minnesota goal, his second. Scored by Brodziak. Assisted by Scandella and Cook at 1:03.
All right, now the Wild Try to get in. Bouncing puck finally captured by Roosevelt. Michael Roosevelt playing in back-to-back games now, and he really struggled in Tampa the other night. He's had some injury and illness issues here in the early part of the season and has not been able to really get his typical form here, particularly the other night. I mean, he really struggled in Tampa Bay, so Coach Q giving him another start here this evening, trying to get him into game shape and timing. Mills put it into the offensive zone. Stoner. And taken away by Mills. Now Peary for Mills, one-timer. That was shuffled wide. And back to the net, Clayton Stoner got checked. Kanapka put it up the boards. Let's try to keep it in. And eventually the Wild able to get it back, and Mitchell could not advance it. Here's Seabrook. Pass was at the feet of Taves, kicks it forward, chased it down. Taves pulls his way into the shot and a save, rebound. Got near the goal line, but not over, and now it's still loose. Here's Hossa, couldn't get it to the front. He's got it again. Hossa back to Chalmerson. Looking to Oduya. Chalmerson's one-timer. His stick shattered as he tried to let it go. Now Taves off the boards with it. Oduya's long one is blocked to Veilleux. And he cleared it out.
Oh, what an opportunity there for Jonathan Taves.
And that's really an offside play.
Well, the Wild had some tired players on the ice, Pat, and Jonathan Taves was fresh. He's able to get to this loose puck. Clayton Stoner having a tough time turning. And look at Taves lean in, protect, and just isn't able to go all the way through because Matthew Dumpa's on that far side. But what a stop by Nicholas Backstrom. Again, no hesitation at all. Recognizing who's on the ice, get to the outside, and take the puck right to the net.
Hossa back in there. Right to center, just missing Sharp out in front. Here comes Koivu the other way. He's checked by Chalmerson. Here's Jonathan Taves, who's got goals in back-to-back games. Sharp stepped on a stick, penalty to Suter. And so the Hawks will get a much-needed power play here.
One of the ice time leaders for the Minnesota Wild, the ice time leader for the Minnesota Wild, Ryan Suter, Madison, Wisconsin native, is in the box. And just like the other night, Pat, you made mention of Roosevelt in Tampa. Same score the other night in Tampa.
Yes, sir.
Hawks down 2, able to get back in the game and get a point out of it.
So Peary, Saad, and Hossa will be in front of Seabrook and Keith to open the man advantage. For the Wild win a face-off.
Minnesota penalty goal number 20, Suter.
Nicoletti sends Seabrook in. Taking away Prosser. He's unable to get it out. Saad. Down low for Hossa, trying to slip it in front, could not get it through the check. And the Hawks will need to reorganize.
Nicoletti did a good job of keeping that play alive, Pat. The puck was shot around the boards there, and Letty knocked the puck out of midair to keep it alive. Fortunately, the Hawks weren't able to capitalize.
Kane picks his way in. He's hit by Spurgeon. It's jammed back to the line, and Letty able to find Taves. He centered for Saad. He wants Kane, but the pass never reached him. Now Patrick Kane with Saad near the front of the net. Taves has got it. Back to Seabrook, whose shot is blocked. Look out in the Hawks bench. It deflected right in there.
And right in between Jamie Compon, assistant coach, and Troy Parchment. You're making, talking about Nick Leddy, Pat, we were talking about him a second ago. Nick Leddy's got family here in Chicago. His cousin Will just celebrated his 11th birthday. He lives out in Geneva, so Nick Leddy trying to score a goal here for his cousin. The Hawks back in this game.
Keith shot block. Kane. Puck was rolling as he just had to take a whack at it. It lines up off the netting.
Rolling puck from Duncan Keith. And then second chance opportunity, a step slow for Patrick Kane. Coming to the front.
Taves a face-off win. Sharp the shot. Missed the net. Taken by Keith, who shot it, and it's stopped by Backstrom. Scandella sandwiched in the corner. Kick loose towards Kane. He spins it back to Sharp. Another Minnesota penalty coming. Here's Keith for Taves. The shot. Good save by Backstrom. And the whistle goes. And the Hawks are going to have a 20-second two-man advantage.
Minnesota just asking the opportunity to get the Hawks back in this game there. Penalty by Suter. Now a penalty by Koivu. Face-off's the key here. Face-off is huge with this 5-on-3.
So Taves and Brodziak will line it up. Brodziak pulled it back. Scandella. Hey! Oh, they got a bad break the Wild. That puck went into the bench area. But really, they should have been able to take off almost all the remaining time. But the Hawks still have 15 seconds on the first Minnesota penalty. So again, Taves and Brodziak will square them up. Taves pulled that one back. Here's Keith. Hossa with Taves to the front of the net. There's Sharp trying to go back door. It hit a leg and then Taves whacked it wide. Puck held in by Taves to Kane. First penalty's over. Kane moves in, centered it. Here's Sharp and a goal post. He had Backstrom diving, beat him, and it hit iron. And then a pass went back to Hossa, whose stick shattered, so he was unable to play it. 80 seconds of Hawks power play time. Scandella left it for Suter, whose clearing attempt held in by Kane. Now Sharp for Kane, moves in, the shot. Good blocker save by Backstrom. Taken back by Keith to Kane. Saad, front of the net. Back door is Sharp. There's the pass. Here's the shot. It's blocked out in front. Good reaction by Suter, who's able to win the puck and clear it. Now back they come. Leddy in traffic trouble at the blue line. And Torrey Mitchell for the Wild sends it the other way. Here's Brandon Peary, and a ring it around for Shaw. Kruger's out of this power play. The puck escapes him. Bayou got it out. Shaw put it deep. The Wild able to win the board battle. They clear it. Here comes Parise racing in on Seabrook. Parise trying to get to the net. Seabrook muscles him toward the corner. And able to clear it out. Now the second Minnesota penalty over. Both teams full strength. It bounced loose to Koivu, or I should say Parise, who shot it just wide. Now taken by Seabrook. And that's going to be icing if it gets far enough. Had no icing, so they say Prosser will have to play it. Zach Parise. Back goes Oduya. Kruger starts forward. Bickle dumped it, chased it, got there. Bickle won the puck. Battles to the middle. Now dropped it to Hjalmarsson, a wrist shot. Deflected off a Minnesota stick. And alertly Backstrom able to make the stop. 8 minutes gone by in the second. And Minnesota is up 2. Take a look at our Ford upcoming schedule. Rematch of these teams in Minnesota on Monday night. Tuesday, Ottawa's in town. Then we'll be in Winnipeg a week from tonight. Go further in any one of Ford's many fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Busy week, partner. Wild, Senators, Jets, and you got Calgary right here after that game next Saturday. So lots going on here at the United Center for Blackhawks hockey.
Now Kruger working the corner. Rolled over to Leddy. Nick Leddy goes out to Patrick Kane. Tees it up. A shot. Just missed the far post. Taken by Leddy. Kruger dropped it back to Leddy. Looking for a lane. Gave it to Roosevelt, whose hot pass didn't connect. Roosevelt kept it in. Kane out to Leddy with a one-timer. That hit somebody out in front. And Heatley moved it to Gramlin.
Good shift there for that line.
Gramlin had it taken away. Saad on the counterattack. Pulls up and ran out of time as Stoner knocked it away. Saad tries again. Checked before he could make a play. And now the Wild's Fontaine cleared it ahead. Koivu, good save by Crawford. Mikko Koivu got a lot on it. Moving left, shooting right, and Crawford a fine stop.
Well, Corey Crawford's made a couple of real good saves in this game. And that one is right near the top of the charts. As you mentioned, Pat, skate one way, shoot back the other way, trying to get the goaltender in between, but you see Crawford set. Makes a good glove save. Little line maneuvering going on as we would expect. Patrick Sharp's had, what do you say, Pat, 3 A+ chances tonight so far?
Yeah, tried for one there, but it was blocked. He's out with Taves and Hossa as Glenville looks to load up this unit. Taves has got it, shot it, and a save rebound. Hossa! Oh, Backstrom had his face. He was facing the end boards when he made the second save. I'm not sure they teach that move in goalie school, but whatever can get the job done. And Backstrom just came up with a big stop. Here's Sharp in, looks for Hossa, but didn't quite reach him. Granlund checked but cleared it. We're halfway through the second period, 2-0 in favor of the Wild. Seabrook finds Jeremy Morin. He put it on the stick of Shaw. Bickle's long one floats wide. Golick got checked and Niederreiter cleared it out of there. Dumba's pass picked off. Here's Morin. Moves to the middle. Shoot. He got a lot on it. Good save. Backstrom. It's batted off the post and lays in the crease. And it's a good goal, they say, but called on the ice is goal. That's referee Kelly Southern. It seemed to take him a while with all the commotion right in the goal crease. And I'm sure we're going to have a video review here.
Well, that puck was shot by Jeremy Morin and it popped straight into the air. And then Nicholas Backstrom had no idea where the puck was. Off the post, and Brandon Bullock came in. But the referee waited, Pat, until he took it. Watch the right part of your screen. The referee will come in. Kelly Sutherland's going to work his way into the picture, right there.
And that's where he sees it.
Yeah.
Right there. So there were, after the initial stop, as you said, Backstrom had no idea where it had gone. And there were some arms up in the air. I'm sure they're going to look to video to see whether it was gloved forward, but it did not appear to be the case. and looked from here as if the fallen Minnesota players, he was skidding backwards in the goal crease. He's the guy who I think put it in over the goal line.
Yeah, I don't know if it went off of Shaw as they went up.
But there's the puck in the net after it initially hit the post. So Stoner, when skidding in there, it hit him in the backside and wound up over the line. And until Sutherland got directly behind the net and could see it just inside the post, that's when he indicated goal. And that's the proper call. So it is a 2-1 game.
Boy, did that puck look like it went. That puck was gloved by Clayton Stoner. And Shaw had his stick up in the air trying to reach for the puck there, Pat. Watch this.
Yes.
It hits his stick, right? Hand, stick. Now on that look, the stick is above the crossbar when it makes contact with the puck.
And now they have gone to the war room, and all this conversation among the officials, they had huddled up and it skated over to center ice as if to put the puck back in play, and all of a sudden I think the war room in Toronto said, hang on a minute, boys.
Yeah, all goals are reviewed. All goals are reviewed. There you can't tell if it goes off the stick of Andrew Shaw or not. But they're looking at every angle. Minnesota TV is here. They have our looks. They have their own cameras in the building. So they're looking at all the different angles. There, Coach Q talking to assistant coach Mike Kitchen.
And they have communication with the video coach, Matt Meacham. He's got a radio that goes back, and he can go back and forth with Jamie Compon, so he will be able to alert the Blackhawks coaches about what he has seen from the different angles that he has access to, as there's Jamie talking into his wrist like Sam Spade.
And there's the glove, and then off the shaft of the stick of Andrew Shaw. Again, this decision is made from the war room in Toronto.
So the call on the ice was good goal. It must be conclusive evidence, conclusive video evidence to if there is going to be an overturn of a call. And you can see Kelly Sutherland with his partner Chris Rooney. Sutherland's got the headset on. They're just waiting to be told by the war room whether that's a good goal or not. So this is taking a while, and as Eddie said, there certainly is possible there are a couple angles we haven't seen, but we've shown you everything that we have access to here. And a couple of anxious coaches want to know what Toronto thinks as well. Minnesota Wild at the halfway point of this game have generated a total of 12 shots on goal, and yet they've got the lead.
You know what, Pat, I think too is what they also are trying to probably determine is when that puck was hit with the high stick, it hit the post and then it came back onto the play, the surface the ice surface, and did it go in off of Clayton Stoner and then into the net, or did it go in by itself? I mean, they're looking and they're trying to determine all of these factors. Not only was it hit by a high stick, but how did the puck end up going in the net? I mean, that's sometimes the thing that's overlooked and maybe not talked about enough is how did it get across the goal line? I shouldn't even say to the back of the net because a lot of these pucks don't even cross. I mean, they don't even hit the back of the net, just cross the line and end up being good goals. But again, the official, Kelly Sutherland, you called his name right away, Pat. He was in perfect position. He was right where he's supposed to be. He moved in, didn't blow the whistle. He knew the puck was alive. He pointed and then went in. So again, I don't think there's any doubt it goes in off the high stick of Andrew Shaw. There's no doubt that it hits the stick of Andrew Shaw as it's coming down.
But to your point earlier, that's not what put it in the net. The post stop, Shaw's advancing of it. Then it hit the backside of Stoner and went in.
Yeah, and again, not knowing where that puck actually did cross the line. Well, this is one of the longer reviews you will see, and again, it's all part of the process. Fans at the United Center waiting to see what happens. People at home waiting to see what happens. You want to get the call right, and they're looking. There's lots of things they're looking at. They're just not looking at one or two things when it comes to the totality of this play. And then the officials will get an explanation, and we're going to hear from Kelly Sutherland.
The play was under review for contact with the puck above the crossbar. Shaw from Chicago high sticks the puck, deflects off the defending player, then goes into the net. The high stick was above the crossbar. No possession and control by Minnesota, therefore no goal.
Well, as we told you, and you've seen it before, but after the initial save, there's contact above the crossbar. Not much doubt about that. Then it hits the goalpost, and that momentum of the puck is stopped, but it hits the backside of Stoner and goes in. Well, they didn't have the puck.
Right, exactly. Yeah, clear.
They didn't have
it was a clear explanation by referee Kelly Sutherland.
Well done. Well done by Kelly Sutherland and the war room in Toronto. I mean, Hawk fans don't like the call, but they made it very clear about why this is still a 2-0 game. All right, now Peary wouldn't advance it. Ryan Suter across to Spurgeon. He cleared it ahead. Heatley. He ran out of room along the boards. Back come the Hawks. Drop pass to Keith. He shoots. Oh, and deflected just off the mark. Brodziak on the counterattack. Cleared it into the Hawk zone. A pass across to Heatley. His shot blocked by Seabrook. Gambella's long one never got through. Matt Cook, actually second in the Minnesota scoring in the early part of the year. Now Keith has it back. Koivu gets into the zone. Whiffed on a shot attempt, taken back by Fontaine, but he missed the target. Hossa to Keith, here he comes. But the Wild get 3 back quickly, and the Hawks at the end of a shift. And it's picked up by Parise, and Koivu dumped it.
Smart play by Patrick Sharp. Just chipping the puck in, knew he didn't have much help. Players on the edge at the end of a long shift. Got the puck in deep.
Mitchell. Well, Bayou hacked it forward. Oduya around for Chalmerson. Good backhand pass finds Tay. Cleared it in for Sharp. His drop pass was tipped out of the zone. Letty gains the line. In behind for Morin. And then Spurgeon couldn't get it past Shaw. Out of the corner, Morin. Shields it nicely, tried to slip it in front, didn't get there. Shaw battling now. Roosevelt to Letty. Good stop and go move. He centered. Here's Bickle. He shoots. He goes! Brian Bickle set up neatly by Nick Letty. And it's 2-1. Goals in 4 straight games for Big 29.
Well, our replay brought to you by Honda. Nicholas Backstrom thought Brian Bickle was going to shoot that puck right away, Pat, and Bickle held on to it. Patience, and Nick Letty being aggressive. Circling in, making a perfect pass. I don't know if Jeremy Morin's going to get an assist on that or not, Pat, but he made a real good play down low to keep the play alive on the backhand. You had Shaw around the net, you had Bickle there, you talked about Letty. And that's a good bounce back for the Hawks after having the 1 goal disallowed.
The Hawks are able to get out. Kane into the zone. Patrick Kane hangs on. He finds Keith. He lets it go. And a save by Backstrom. Rebound held in by Keith. Kane to Kruger in the corner. Marcus Kruger to Kane to Keith. And into the corner. It's picked up by Stoner. Couldn't get it past Seabrook. Kane now. His backdoor play. Keith had snuck in, but mishandled it. And it's picked up by Dumba.
Blackhawk goal, his 4th of the season.
Seabrook stole it, finds Kane. He drives offside. Is called. 5 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. Goals in 4 straight for Brian Bickle. This one cutting the Minnesota lead in half.
From our BMO Harris Bank telestrator, I want everybody to keep an eye on Nick Letty. He ends up making a pass, but again, players without the puck, where do you go? You got to get to the front of the net. Nick Letty skates in. Brian Bickle's going to find a soft little spot. He loses his check. Great reception of the puck, and it beats Nicholas Backstrom. So Blackhawk defenseman jumping in, Nick Letty, and then Brian Bickle going to the front of the net to be an outlet for the puck carrier.
Right now, bouncer's held in by Letty. It's not quite. It lines up an offside play.
Well, the Blackhawks have announced the release of 17 seconds, an hour-long movie chronicling the dramatic Game 6 finish and summer-long celebration of the Stanley Cup. Get an all-access pass inside the locker room in Boston, ride along on the parade buses, and relive the magic of the banner-raising ceremony. For complete details and additional screening, visit chicagoblackhawks.com/17 seconds.
Mandela put it up the boards, and well, it's cleared ahead. Winds up in the Wild bench. We'll give a quick shout out to a young man named Warren Dawes, who achieved quite a milestone. He was named an Eagle Scout. This actually was a couple months ago, but I heard from his parents, Bob and Bill, who are huge Blackhawks fans. So congratulations to Warren Dawes for a terrific achievement. They're from Woodbridge. Here's a quick shot. Oh, and Koivu's attempt went wide. Cleared around the boards and bounced away from Spurgeon. Taken by Taves, looking to walk in. He's well covered by Spurgeon. And lines up in the corner, Sharp. Drops it back. Here's Oduya, a long blast. Hit some traffic out in front. Fontaine sends it back in. The Wild crosser backhands it out of there. Shaw pressured by Brodziak. Nice move to lose that check. He sends Bickle up the ice. Morin heading for the net, but the puck didn't follow him. Keith has to turn back. Picked up by Morin. Shaw kicks to the stick, gets in, dropped to the Bickle, quick shot. Oh, he got a lot on a wrister, but missed the target. And now Shaw out of the corner. And his shot hit the shoulder, rebound Keith, and that attempt was blocked. Now Scandella cleared it out to Cook. Made a good pass, they get it into the zone. Prosser set it, here's the blast, Crawford! Oh, a fine glove save on a shot that had a lot of mustard from that man, Jason Pominville. Late in the second, Minnesota up 1. Welcome back to the UC, where it's time for the Liberty Mutual Insurance Best Moments. And a good moment coming up for that guy, a great guy, Clint Reif, one of the Blackhawks equipment managers, who in the game in Minnesota on Monday will reach the 1,000 game milestone with the Blackhawks. And Liberty Mutual best moments. If you tried to list all of his best moments, it's a pretty long list.
Well, partner, I guess when you do 999 games, you talk into your collar of your shirt. When you get to 1,000, they actually give you one of those blueberries, an actual, talking to your shoe or your cufflink.
Liberty Mutual Insurance, when things are at their worst, we're at our best. And Clint Reif is at his best day in and day out. A wonderful guy and really a very important part of the Blackhawks locker room. I can tell you this, when they asked Duncan Keith if you were stranded in a desert island, who's the one person you'd want to have with you? He said Reif. Here's a quick shot, they score! Good pass from Granlund. He put it out into the middle and snapped home. And the Wild have a 3-1 lead. Pominville, who was just denied moments ago, able to finish that chance.
Corey Crawford not set in his net, Pat. There's the pass. Crawford down. He stands back up, and it just goes back to the far side. Looks like Corey was in between. But what a release from the former Buffalo Sabre. From Michael Granlund with a nice pass. Moved the puck from side to side. The Hawks not able to exit the zone to get the puck out of the zone. And Minnesota answers back.
Now 2 minutes remaining in period 2. And the Wild are back up 2. Hossa kicks to the stick, gets in with a shot. Missed the net. Held in Oduya. Now Hossa. Let it roll loose, and Koivu clears the zone. Hossa cleared it to Taves. Wanted to get it back to Hossa. Heatley broke the play up that he was taken down. Penalty, Blackhawks. And the Wild will head to the power play.
Chicago penalty, number 81. 2 minutes for tripping.
Well, there's the stick of Marian Hossa upending Danny Heatley. So this is a gigantic shorthanded situation for the Hawks.
The Blackhawks then was going to bring Marian Hossa. 2 minutes for tripping at 2:23. Blackhawks penalty called number 81.
Knocked down with a high stick now. Kruger got tangled with Dumba. And we're going to have have a penalty or two coming up.
It's not a good penalty by Marcus Kruger. Yeah, not a good penalty at all. One of your top penalty killers taking a penalty after a whistle that had blown, Pat, probably for a good 5 seconds. And now it's a 5-on-3.
And by the way, he's sitting next to another guy who's a pretty good PK guy, too.
No
So, all right, here's a scenario where you've got to have your goalie keep you in the game right here.
No question.
And you're 2 men short for the next 90 seconds of this period. That man is likely going to be asked to come up large. Wild win another draw. Suter, Koivu, back to Ryan Suter. Going to change positions. Lead for Pomerville, blast. Oh, we just missed the far post. Rebound held in Suter. It rolled loose to Hjalmarsson. Now Oduya able to shield it beautifully, and the Hawks able to clear the zone. Danny Heatley, final minute, dropped it to the middle. Suter the shot. He just missed the near post. Rebound held in Pominville. Goes down low. Then got it back. Pominville looks for Suter. Ryan Suter plays catch. Now he'll look down low to Parise. Suter, touch pass, Pominville, blast. He missed the net. Boy, all 3 shot chances for the Wild have been off the mark. Suter trying to get it to the goal. He missed the net. It's held in by Pominville. That's 4 of them. Here's Suter again. Pominville's one-timer. Save Crawford. He's able to hold on.
You wonder if Mike Yeo, the coach of the Minnesota Wild, uses his timeout. He's got tired players on the ice. Looks like Corey Crawford a little slow to get back to his feet, Pat. A huge face-off again.
Koivu is a 57%er in against Shaw for this draw. Koivu wins. Pominville, Suter. No lane there. Suter to Parise with a shot tip. Deflected right through the blue paint to Pominville. These scurries could not keep it in, and the period will end. So the Blackhawks get through the final 90 seconds, 2 men short, and fall no further behind, in large part with some shoddy marksmanship from the Minnesota Wild. But in the second period, they had 12 shots. Their total is 19, or their total now is 20. So they had 13 in the second. Hawks had 10. Their total is 22.
3-1 Minnesota. You know, the Hawks had a 22-12 edge in shots, and then all of a sudden it was 22-20. So the Wild got the final 8 shots of the period, and that doesn't count all those missiles they missed the net on that 5-on-3.
Yeah, that 5-on-3, I think Pat pointed it out. Boy, they had some grade A scoring chances that never hit the net. That kills the play.
So really there's got to be some serious momentum changing if the Blackhawks want to get back in this game, and they still have some power play time to kill off. Right now, keys to period number 3,
well,
Steve.
That leads perfectly into our first key. You've got to finish that kill, but you've also got to stay out of the box. Blackhawks have taken 4 penalties already. They average about 3 per game, so make sure you kill this and then stay out of the box. And then finally, D, time to get involved. We're talking about the Blackhawks D. Eddie O made a great point about Nick Leddy. Head up, jumped in on the play. He made that goal to Bickle. Watch for the other defensemen to get involved. Besides Leddy, Keith, Seabrook, they have some offensive upside. They're going to be taking chances.
All right, Steve, we'll look for that in period number 3. Right now, we send you back upstairs, Pat Foley and Eddie Olczyk.
Okay, Danny and Steve, thanks very much. We welcome you back inside the United Center, where the Blackhawks face a 2-goal deficit, getting ready for the third period. Assistant coach Mike Kitchen has been nice enough to put a headset on for us. Kitch, one thing seems apparent, you're not going to be getting any odd man breaks. I'm not sure you've had one against this well-schooled team. So how are you going to get a goal or two to fight your way back into this?
Well, I think the biggest thing, we have to have quick ups in the neutral zone. That's what we talked about in between periods, and get it deep in on their D. And we can't look for pretty plays down there looking to pass in a slot, although Letty made a great play to Bickle, but we're having more success of passing off the goalie and having our D active on the back end and getting involved in the cycles.
Hey, Kitch, Brian Bickle off to a slow start offensively, but not as of late, scoring some big goals for you. Just talk about his play in general, please.
Well, I think it was, coming off the year he had last year, with especially in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He played so well for us, and he comes in there, and then he gets a new contract, which was very deserving, and I think he put a lot of pressure on himself, and so we thought he started out, with Taves and Kane, and we thought we'd just pull him back a little bit, and so he'd get his feet wet again, and, he's more comfortable in playing with whoever that line is, whether it's Shaw and Morin right now, and he feels a lot more comfortable, and plus getting that first goal means a lot. I mean, it just, takes the pressure right off him. Now he can just play hockey. Sometimes he had a tendency to overhandle the puck and that kind of thing, making plays.
All right, Kitch, appreciate a couple minutes. Good luck here in the third.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kitch.
So the Hawks will be shorthanded by 2 men for another 22 seconds. So a short sequence to try to get through before you can get back to even strength and try to claw your way back in. Suter gains the lines. Oh, just misconnecting on a pass attempt. Pominville, Suter. Mason Pominville to Ryan Suter, who shot good block out in front of Oduya. And Pominville had it taken away by Taves, working hard on the boards. He fights his way through. Now the first Hawks penalty over. The pass was intended for Hossa, who was coming out of the box trying to catch the play. It didn't work out. Now the Hawks 1 man short for just a couple seconds. Now they're back to full strength. So a long 2-man disadvantage has been killed off. And back to 5 against 5. But I'll tell you, that's one other thing about the Minnesota Wild. The Blackhawks goal by Bickle that Eddie and Kitch were just talking about, that is only the 6th time this entire year the Hawks or the Wild have given up a goal 5-on-5. I mean, when they've been at even strength, they have been almost perfect defensively. Here's a steal by centering pass from Fontaine. The shot was then blocked. Granlund tried to keep it up, but was knocked down with a high stick for a whistle.
Boy, the giveaway by Andrew Shaw, and then Shaw skates out in front and taps the pad of Corey Crawford. There's the giveaway. There's the opportunity for Nino Niederreiter. Good stick there from Fontaine. Good quick play and good save there. Huge save for Corey Crawford.
This puck bounces around. Finally, the Wild able to clear it. But Minnesota has been tremendously stingy 5-on-5. Only 6 goals against them so far this year. This is their 12th game. All right, now Sharp looks to Roosevelt. Gains the line to Taves. Wants Sharp the one-timer. Good save by Backstrom. And the rebound cleared to center.
Patrick Sharp keeps getting to those areas on the ice. Puck's going to eventually end up in the back of the net. Well, fans, don't forget to check out the Blackhawks blog at WGNTV.com. The blog is brought to you by Bob Ladoni, your nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 26 years. To join the nation, contact Bob at joinbob.com. And remember, Nationwide is on your side.
Chalmerson fires a long pass on the money for Saad. He moves in. He shoots. Big save by Back's rebound. He made a second stop on Peary. Now Koivu to the corner of pitching Chalmerson. Got help to keep it in. Saad to Mills. He was checked right away, and the puck taken by Fontaine, who dumped it in.
What a chance there. Brandon Saad, great pickup, great move. Outstanding stop, but then Brandon Peary following up the play.
Radziak couldn't advance it. Bickle the other way, dropped it back. Morin out to Seabrook, whose long one is off a skate. And the puck cleared back the other way. Keith ahead for Shaw. Bickle tried to keep it in. Now it's taken by Keith. Wild able to get it back, and Keatley needs help to clear it. That eventually happened from Brodziak. Keith wants to keep control while the Hawks are changing players. Now a give and go. The second pass didn't connect with Hossa. Picked up by Roosevelt. Taves. Put it on the stick of Sharp. Speeding wide. Sharp with a backhand shot. Sticked away by Backstrom. And now behind the play, a whistle. And a penalty from referee Rooney against Patrick Sharp. So Sharp is off for a trip. And the Blackhawks, this is the third straight penalty they've taken in the offensive zone. I believe it is. And so the Wild back to the man advantage. As Eddie told you earlier tonight, this unit generally has been very good for Minnesota. They got one conversion tonight. Pominville, Koivu, Parise dropped it to Suter, whose pass deflects. Spurgeon, a hot feed. He wanted to redirect, didn't get it. It goes out. Now Suter, it's cleared ahead. Koivu sends it down low, centering pass. Came all the way through. Koivu in behind. Taken away by Taves. He's able to bounce it out. The Wild come back in offside.
Right before that penalty by Patrick Sharp, he had that backhand chance, Pat, and Patrick Sharp's had 4 shots going into this period. I've had him for 2 so far in this third period, and of those 6 chances, I think he's had 3 A+ chances here tonight. So he's been the one Blackhawk that has had the puck find him in the offensive zone and also creating and generating the best chances.
Do you find the opening with a minute of power play time left for the Wild? Scandella, Dumba, for the offside. Still half a minute for the Minnesota man advantage. Blackhawks shorthanded for the 5th time tonight, and that's not typically what they do. They're usually only shorthanded 2 or 3 times most games. They've hurt themselves by going to the box a little bit more often this evening. Puck taken away by Keith to Saad. Duncan Keith. We'll play a little keep away. Puck jumped away from Keith, held in. Here's Spurgeon to Koivu. Gave it to Parise. Spurgeon to Suter. Spurgeon's one-timer. Pad save by Comfort and no loose change.
Talked about how good the power play has been for the Minnesota Wild early this season, you can see the reasons why. They got lots of options. And Pat, you were talking about the penalties. And Hawks took the one penalty on the power play, took one while they were shorthanded. So, I mean, that's not even, it's just the minutes and how hard those minutes are in a situational type of play is when you're having guys out there so taxing to kill those penalties. And it just adds up when you keep going to the box over and over. And a lot of the guys that don't kill penalties don't get on the ice.
Yeah. Early in the third, Minnesota up a pair.
Well, Blackhawk fans, Budig wants to see your family photos. Upload them through your Twitter account and tag them with the hashtag HawksFanPhoto, and your family photo might be shown on the air. Lots of families are Blackhawk fans, so upload them and hashtag them with HawksFanPhoto.
All right, now Nate Prosser fires a long lead pass. Mitchell's shot attempt deflects into the corner. Cook shifted in behind. And it came loose to Bickle. Roosevelt was checked in the middle of the ice. And Heatley cleared it the other way.
Mentioned Roosevelt's name in the middle of the ice, Pat. Hawks got to get more defensemen involved. You think about the goal that Brian Bickle scored is because Nick Leddy jumping in play. Hawks should get a power play out of this.
What's going to happen is the Hawks player went down right in front of the Wild bench. Shaw, you can see reaching up near his melon to see if blood might have been drawn.
And it just looked like he got the stick around the skates, Pat. Right there, he got tripped up. But I'm not sure why they blew the whistle, because the Hawks had control of the puck right in front of the bench. But nonetheless, opportunity here.
2 minutes for tripping.
So fourth liner Konopka goes to the box, and a major opportunity here for the Blackhawks to try to draw close in the game. And Andrew Shaw wanted to stay out for this power play. I think he's been cut, and so they've sent him, referee Sutherland has sent him off for some repairs. And there's Mike Gapsky trying to get things tightened up. All right, now Bickle. And it's taken away in the corner.
Resulting in a Blackhawks power play.
Here comes Patrick Sharp. Battles his way in. Puck rolled loose, but Taves got it. Now Taves with Bickle to the front of the net. Kane takes over to Sharp to Keith. Shooting! Oh, he wanted a tip from Taves and just missed it. Now Kane to Taves, trying to fire backdoor, but Keith wasn't down low. It's cleared around the board to Suter. Like a funny hop there. Hawks keep it in. Now Kane centered it. It hit a leg to Mitchell. And a minute left of the Hawks' man advantage. Kane could not get the pass through the traffic. And out comes Leddy. And inside. Chipped it for Marian Hossa. Around to Seabrook. Taken away by Stoner. Now Shaw pirouettes into the zone. Out it to Leddy. Across to Seabrook. Seabrook's long shot. Just missed. Rebound. Hossa with a hot bounce from the inboards. Could not tuck that into the far side of the net. And now the Wild's Koivu came up with it. The Minnesota penalty over, both teams full strength. Now a turnover. Here's a chance. Now a shot. What a pass by Fontaine. He gave an open net to Pominville for his second of the night. And it's 4-1 Wild.
Well, turnover in the middle of the ice. Nick Leddy tries to get the puck to Brad Mills in the middle of the ice, and then the quick little distribution. Corey Crawford frozen in the middle of the ice. Quick little pass, right between the legs as well of Nick Leddy. And no mistake by Jason Pominville, who does what you're supposed to do. Throw your hands up towards the crossbar. Don't give the goaltender an opportunity to move right to left, and that's exactly what happened.
So right after an important power play for the Hawks gets snuffed out, a turnover leads to a Wild goal, and now the Hawks in a world of trouble, playing against a team that, as an average, gives up just under 2 goals per game. Now the Hawks have to get 3 in the next half a period to have a chance. Here comes Kruger with a backhand shot that's blocked. Now Kruger dumped it. Cross her back. Leaves for Suter. Now taken by Hjalmarsson. We are halfway through period 3. 4-1 in favor of the Wild, who had come in here taking 5 of their last 6 points, 2-0-1. They've given up only 3 goals in those 3 games. They've given up only 1 in 2.5 periods tonight. Fontaine had to escape him in the corner, and Saad looks ahead for Peary. Stoner got back first. Saad took it away, but his pass broken up by the goal stick of Backstrom. And a corner battle won by the Wild's Koivu. For Fontaine, they'll dump it and change. Eddie, I mentioned this at the start of this period, but I do not in this entire. Here's a long pass, finding Morin. He gets in. Going to draw a penalty, maybe a shot. Let's see. No, it's just going to be a minor penalty. Jeremy Morin partially sprung and got the shot on target that Backstrom was able to stop. The Minnesota penalty will give a Blackhawk power play a chance. You would have to think this is must convert for the Chicago man advantage.
Well, what a chance for Jeremy Morin off the great pass from Michael Roosevelt. Good save again by Nicholas Backstrom. Well, Blackhawk fans, take a look at the all-new Chevy Impala. The 2014 Chevy Impala is a real game changer. It's all about drive. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer today.
Just under 9 minutes left in regulation. The Hawks in desperate need of a power play conversion here. Mark left to bat this around the board. Comes all the way to Kane. Kane to Kane. He missed him. Shaw got to it. Leaving for Taves. Now Kane. They get Shaw to the front. Backdoor is sharp. Here's Kane with a shot and a save by Backstrom. And again, no loose puck after he stopped it.
Well, you like Patrick Kane shooting the puck because that's going to open up the passing lanes. But Andrew Shaw's got to get right in front there, Pat. Got to stand right in front of Nicholas Backstrom. Not allow him to see that puck.
Face-off win for the Wild. Koivu did the honors, and here comes Leddy. Hossa steps in. Leddy left it for Hossa. They play catch, and Hossa's going to bring it. Good save by Backstrom. And the rebound's out. A minute of power play time left for Chicago. Leddy let it roll loose in the corner. And it's hacked out of the zone. 45 for the power play. Kane works his way deep, goes around for Seabrook. Patrick Kane for Taves. Didn't get rid of an opportunity. Now Kane for Taves. Wade center to Kane. Score! Fantastic play from Jonathan Taves to Patrick Kane. And the Blackhawks now trail by 2.
Move the puck, move yourself. Where was Patrick Kane to start this power play, Pat? He was over on the left wing side. If it doesn't work there, you go over to the right side. What a pass from Jonathan Taves, right between the legs, right there, of Clayton Stoner. That's a double 5-hole between the legs of Stoner. I think it goes between the legs of Backstrom as well. So if I get the abacus out really quick, that equals 10. So Hawks still down by 2. But that's a huge power play goal for the Hawks.
By now Seabrook put it up the boards. Kane checked. And it's jumping free finally to Keith. Here comes Kane. In deep for Taves. Now Sharp out for Keith. A long shot. Saved back to rebound. Oh, hacked by Taves. It jumped upstairs over top of the net. Spurgeon cleared it ahead. Niederreiter couldn't catch up with it. Seabrook. And now Morin gains the line. But some back pressure there from Parise.
Like to see the Hawks when they got Minnesota has guys lined up at the blue line. Just chip and chase. That was one of the things we talked about at the start of the game, Pat. Really forced this defense to play below the goal line. Like right in this area here.
Now a corner battle, and nobody can pry at 3 yet. Finally, Bollig got to it, trying to muscle it right through the goal crease. It came. Now everybody hacking and whacking. Finally, it picked up by the Wild. And Mitchell tapped it deep. Here's Oduya. Trying to find Bickle. He gains line. Cuts in. Shooting. Good save. Backstrom. And he's able to hang on to that hard wrist shot. Down to 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Patrick Kane got the Hawks a little closer. Brian Bickle wanted one more. The door, though, was slammed shut.
Well, there's Patrick Sharp and Patrick Kane, a couple of cover boys on the cover of Michigan Avenue, and that is our AT&T U-verse replay. Hey, Pat, I want to give a shout-out to Blackhawk Ambassador and Hockey Hall of Famer Denny Savard and his foundation, the Dennis Savard Foundation. They paid for 60 people, 20 special needs skaters and their families to come here and play the Chicago Tomahawks out at center ice today. They are the Minnesota Wildcats, a special needs team from Minnesota. And all the money, of course, comes from the Dennis Savard Foundation, so way to go, Savvy.
Nice going, Savoir-Faire. Now Sharp, put it on the stick of Taves. Goes wide. Taves flipped to the front. Sharp! Oh, big save by Backstrom! And he's made at least a half a dozen of those tonight, Nick Backstrom.
I got Sharp now for 8 shots, Pat.
And you say at least half of those are high quality. Koivu fights through a Roosevelt hit. Mikko Koivu slipped it in front, and they score. Fontaine set up by Koivu. A big save at one end leads to a goal at the other. 5-2.
Well, Pat, the decision by Michael Roosevelt, now he's right here. You have 1, 2, 3 Minnesota Wild players coming, right? Now all of a sudden, stop it right there. Now there's Roosevelt, and now all of a sudden you have problems, and now it becomes a 3-on-1. I know what Roosevelt's trying to do. He's trying to press the issue. He's trying to force a turnover. But in that situation, you probably got to live to fight another day. I like my chances at a 3-on-2 than a 3-on-1. Going to break down in the middle of the ice, and the Hawks are now down by 3.
Now play back in the Hawk zone, but Bickle got to it, and Morin drives along, wrist shot that was blocked. Came back out in front, hacked at, and a location by Backstrom as the puck was up in the air after it was whacked by Shaw. Backstrom able to glove and hold.
Andrew Shaw comes flying in here, Pat, right here. Does he get hooked up by Niederreiter? Yeah, looks like he does. The stick right around the midsection. That's how that line looked, Pat, and he did get a penalty. That was a late call. I did not see the arms go up by the official. I like how that line has looked tonight. Shaw, Bickle, and Morin. They had the goal, but I think they've done more than, basing it on just a goal.
Sharp's long blast is blocked to Keith. Sharp again. Kane moves in with a shot that didn't get through. Bouncing around. And the Wild able to carry it out. Brodziak with a wrist shot that's handled by Crawford. Wants to play it, now does. And 90 seconds of power play time for Chicago. Taves got the line, but it was then taken away.
Good read there from Matt Cook. Taves made a heck of a play, a heck of a read there. Cook read his mind.
Scandella cleared the zone. Down to 3 minutes remaining. Crawford tries to spring Saad, but he couldn't get all the way in. Crawford's going to be heading to the bench, it looks like, when the Hawks can get it into the offensive zone. Let's see, and there he goes. 6 attackers Chicago with just under a minute of power play time. Here's Bickle. Tipped and chased. And awkward fall into the boards, and then a stick got Bickle. What a bad sequence for Big 29. He fell awkwardly into the boards, and then a cue got him right in the yap.
No out of bounds in this game.
No, but he's right back in the play, tapped it deep. And Saad on the boards, got it to Hossa, moves in, slipped it in front. Bouncing puck was knocked down with a high stick, but next touched by the Wild, so play continues. Seabrook shot it. It was blocked in front to Leddy. 2 minutes to go in the third. The Minnesota penalty over. Both teams full strength. Here's Peary trying to slip it in front of shot, and a save by Backstrom. A point-blank stop by Nick Backstrom. And has he ever been rock solid tonight in the Minnesota net?
God, I'd say other 34 chances or shots that, I should say the shots that the Hawks have had, I'd have to say a good 10 have been A-plussers. And I think Sharpie's had 4 of those for sure.
So the time, the enemy of the Hawks as we get down to a minute remaining, and Backstrom gloves that corner pass.
Pat, we're going to go back to our telestrator here and our BMO Harris Bank telestrator. Now, here's where the puck is. And to me, it doesn't seem like a whole heck of a lot, but see where Duncan Keith is on this side here? I'd like to see him move himself just a little bit into this area here, because you give yourself more of an angle, you give yourself more of an opportunity to come in there and be a part of the scrum. Take another look at that, Pat. It's Mike Kitchen talking to Duncan Keith. But again, it doesn't seem like a lot, but being in this line here and then being here is what, 5 feet, 6 feet? And it just gives yourself an opportunity to be a part of the play. Because when the power play is on that side of the ice, it's a 4-on-4. But you have an extra man. And again, it's a slight thing. You got to get inside the dots. And I saw Patrick Sharp doing that earlier in the game as well, Pat. So maybe a little adjustment that the Hawks might want to look at when they get into their power play setup and give him another option. Because that guy's so far outside the dots, he's really not an option. And the penalty-killing guys know that, hey, if it goes there, we got time to recover.
Right now, Mills got turned around, and the Wild unable to clear. A long shot by Bollig was stopped. Rebound, they score! And Marcus Kruger able to snap home a rebound opportunity, so it's 5-3.
No, Kruger's first of the year. Quick shot from Brandon Bollig. Brad Mills on the ice. And then the quick wrister short side on Nicholas Backstrom.
So Brandon Bollig should be credited with his first career assist there. After he scored his first career goal, the first goal the Hawks scored this season. With the clock winding down here, the Hawks have to go back and tag up, and that's going to finish this one. The Minnesota Wild had a 1-3-1 record coming in on the road, backstopped by that man, Nick Backstrom, who was absolutely outstanding throughout. They come into the United Center and grab 2 points tonight. The Blackhawks' 7-game undefeated streak is over.